Hi lovelies, I'm back with another video. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure you comment below for the algorithm and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you want to support me, links to my Cash App and PayPal will be pinned in the comments. So I wanted to come on here and talk about the season finale of Basketball Wives. And I'm not really going to do a recap of what happened. This is just going to be my season closing thoughts. So here's the thing. After, listening to OG's recordings and watching the show, there clearly was an agenda to paint OG out to be the bad guy. They edited and chopped and screwed a lot of footage to perpetuate a narrative that OG was problematic, like the girls were, so receptive and open to what she was saying. And, we were not getting the full scope. In addition to that, I feel like multiple truths could coexist. So yes, there was some favoritism, there was some colorism, there was some bullying, there was some double standards, but I also feel like OG just was never meant to be part of this group of people. I feel like she has an abrasive energy about her and she just don't mesh. Like, she just don't mesh. Like, all jokes aside, like, I don't lose sleep over this shit. We all know that one person where it's like to love her is to know her. And that is what OG gives. She's not the type of girl where she's cool. And then over time, as you get to know them, if you want to develop a friendship with them outside of like superficial, surface level, hey, how you doing? We in group settings, we going to parties, we going to clubs and shit. Like, OG's not that girl. OG is an acquired taste. That's it. That's how I'm gonna sum it up. OG is an acquired taste. She's not for everyone. She's not someone who is charismatic and she's a people person and like she's cool. She's somebody like when she enters a space, when she enters an atmosphere, her energy can either be received good or bad. It's like a polarity thing with her. She's not someone who could just blend into the background. Like, you see how the other two girls came on the show and it's like they cool, like, whatever the case may be. You see how Lamar Odom's child's mother, like, that's not her. And I'm not saying she needs to change. She's a grown woman. If she like it, I love it. But when you are entering girl circles and girl groups and you're on a reality show, if you want to feel comfortable and you want to feel accepted and you want to feel like, you're part of the cast, then yeah, you may want to look at yourself and look at how you're being received. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that she should change to be in these circle of women or fight, but it's just like, just from a viewer standpoint, like, just watching reality television, this first of all, I don't even know what this was. They only had 7 episodes. They abruptly stopped filming, and I blame Shawnee O'Neal. Shawnee O'Neal has dug this show into the ground because as the executive producer and creator of the show, it truly was your job to see to it that the conversations that needed to be had about colorism, the conversations that needed to be had about people being treated a certain way, it was your job to see to it that happened. And as a grown woman, the fact that you just would not take the initiative to go over there and talk to her, it's ridiculous. And and the reality is, it just comes down to Shawnee knows that she can't control OG, and Shawnee knows that the minute she agrees to sit down and film with OG, OG is very intelligent. She's very articulate, even a little calculative. Shawnee, I think Shawnee just did not even want to take the chance of looking worse. And then it's just like, you get up and leave the house because it's just hitting the fan. It was just dumb. And I thought before the season started that there was reports that Shawnee supposedly went over there and had a conversation with OG. Maybe I misheard that, but that's what I thought it was. It was just weird. This season was dumb. It was 7 episodes. It ain't gonna be no reunion. Everybody left. It was just really weird. And when it comes to OG, listen, this is gonna be a topic for the next week or so, and then people are gonna go back to their lives. OG, in real life, you need therapy. In real life, you need therapy, and in real life, you need to learn how to be held accountable, and you need to learn how to do introspection, because that last scene with Jennifer is correct. You don't get along with anybody. You are abrasive and strong as fuck. Like I said, you're an acquired taste. And outside of the colorism stuff and like the monkey stuff and whatever that shit, I listen, I don't even have enough fucks. Y'all could go back and watch my videos because I'm not even going to rehash this shit. OG's not innocent. That's just the point I'm making. She's not innocent, and even the fact that she lacks self-awareness. She does. She's not self-aware. So multiple truths can coexist. You lack self-awareness, because when Jennifer was like, "Yeah, you've been snappy, da 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 da," I have not been snappy. You have been snappy. You've been a Debbie Downer and a negative Nancy. You have been. So it's done. I'm sure she will never, ever return to this franchise. Evelyn Lozada was on Wendy Williams this morning, and they talking about they gonna film for next season. So I thought the show was canceled. I don't know what this was. I don't know what this was supposed to be. I don't know if this was supposed to be damage control, but it was just real stupid. And to be honest, Malaysia and Kristen don't need to come back. They don't need to come back. And I don't know. Basketball Wives, like, if it comes back, I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna watch it, because like I said, I'm really not that invested in it. But if it don't come back, it is what it is. I think Shawnee doesn't realize that she second-handedly ruined her own show because of her inability to step up and, spearhead important conversations. But, yeah. And you know what? I'm going to just keep this video going, and I'm going to touch on the Joe Budden situation real quick with Rory and Mal. We just going to do a mashup. So apparently there is trouble in paradise, honey. Now, the funny thing is, y'all know I used to do celebrity tarot readings, and I remember reading on the dynamic of that group, I think last year in the summertime. Basically the podcast for the past few weeks, I'm hearing more Rory and Mal have not been present. And here's the thing. Joe Budden, at this point, you are the common denominator. You are the common denominator in all your failed relationships. I think the problem is that Joe Budden thinks he's the smartest person in the room. He's your typical arrogant Virgo. He really thinks he's the smartest person in the room. And I think he wants henchmen and yes men. And you can't do that with men. You can't. Like, a real man is not going to let you sun them or make them feel like they have to depend on you. And I used to enjoy the Joe Budden podcast because it used to just be like, it's three friends, it's history, the chemistry is natural, they kicking it, they talking about pop culture and hip hop. But I feel like the bigger they got as a trio, the bigger Joe Budden's ego got, and it just started to become an environment where it's like Joe Budden doesn't know how to sit and have conversations and be receptive to other perspectives outside of his. He really thinks that what he says goes. And quiet as it's kept, in my opinion, Rory is the most level-headed one on that podcast. I feel like when Mal is a little narrow-minded and a little dense, and he doesn't have the ability to think outside of his experiences, Joe Budden is a one-trick pony. And then Rory, I feel like, is the most versatile out of all of them. And I really think that he has the potential to do some really great things. I'd say give Rory a year or two. If he starts, doing his own commentary on hip hop and culture, give him a year or two. have him do his podcast, get his promotion right and whatnot, and then he could bring two of his friends and have a podcast. I honestly can see that for Rory. And I could see Maul doing something similar. I personally won't watch, but yeah. People are saying that it's the Joe Budden podcast. He doesn't need them. They need. I disagree. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Joe Budden could do good by himself, but he does better when he bounces off other people. And I noticed that with like some people, it's kind of like the Breakfast Club. Like, people like to say, if Charlamagne leaves the Breakfast Club, it could go down. And I could see how people say that, because Charlamagne is the most dominant voice of those. But personally, when it comes to Charlamagne doing his interviews by himself, I'm just not enthused. Like, you can be the standout host in a trio or a group, but at the same time, just because you stand out in a group, can you stand alone? And that's what I get with Joe Budden. So yeah, he may be the name that everybody knew off rip, and we know Joe Budden's crazy, he gonna say this, he gonna say that, da-da-da-da-da. But I think he does need that balance of Rory, Maul, and Parks to bring it all together. I'm not interested in listening to Joe Budden hear himself talk. And that is so funny, because I'm having an epiphany as I give this commentary. That's where Rory and Maul is needed. Because if it's just Joe Budden doing a podcast by himself, you can tell he just likes to hear himself talk. You know what I mean? It's like it's I don't want to say he's not saying anything of substance, but he needs other people to bounce off of. You're just, because if not, it really is just you hearing yourself talk and you thinking that your opinion is supreme. So, it will be interesting to see how this plays out. All good things come to an end, honey. They saying that academics is over there allegedly on the network, and that is playing a part in some of the dissension. And there's been tension for a while. Like, I've been stopped watching the Joe Budden podcast. I think once it went to Spotify, I watched it a little bit, and then I just was like, and yeah, I wish everybody the best of luck. They all gonna land on their feet. And yeah, that's my commentary. This was a little Basketball Wives mashup and Joe Budden commentary. Y'all enjoy y'all Wednesday. Stay safe and mask up, and have a lovely day. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.